The new series from local streamer Stan, The Commons, comes from creator and writer Shelley Birse, who gave us The Code a couple of years ago. And The Commons is another drag from the headlines thriller, a series of mysteries within mysteries that grabs one's attention from the start. It's a character-based story about the ethical questions surrounding motherhood in a world slightly in the future that is at the crossroads of climate change, with the water crisis decimating regional Australia, an insidious disease creeping throughout the country, a vaccine years away. All this is set against an examination of the moral concerns of gene editing technology and the many ethical problems of advanced biotechnology. This plot is carried by the brilliant Joanne Froggatt, not only popular through her performance as Lady's Maid Anna Bates in Downton Abbey, but also for her brilliant performance in the Williams brothers' recent confronting thriller, Liar. Froggatt is Edie, a radical and gifted neuropsychologist who mends people shattered by trauma. Edie, desperate for a child and having tried all the standard approaches without success, contemplates a radical IVF treatment, even as she has nightmares about the ethical dilemmas of bringing a child into such a dystopian world.
Having one of your dreams? The ones where you can't have a baby?
And it's managed with some kinetic style by the versatile Jeffrey Walker as director, and the experienced writing team of Matt Ford, Michael Miller and Matt Cameron joining Birse. And in The Commons, she puts us inside Edie's head, daring us to consider just how we would react in these same circumstances, challenging perceptions of right and wrong.
It's so great that dramas like this are being made that are confronting in dramatic form issues that we are actually facing as a country. And, you know, it's a great way to draw people's attention to this. Not that I think we need it at this stage, but there's so much talent in this. Jeffrey Walker is having a bonanza time.
Oh, yes.
In terms of his directing career. The cast is fabulous. And you know, it's a really interesting writing team. I did feel that at the end of the last 10 minutes, you know, it just seemed to lose momentum like you wouldn't believe. And I thought, you know, it just wallowed. And I minded that.
I didn't mind that. I thought it did change pace. There's a long scene between two of the characters, and it really is setting up Edie's next kind of step, I think, as she is about to go into this clandestine world of IVF that seems to be hovering around everybody involved in this series to that point. And I think that was a deliberate change of pace from Birse, who's so good at shifting momentum in her storytelling. I didn't mind that at all.
I minded it a bit. Look, I most probably would give this 4 stars.
I'll give it 4 as well. I'm fascinated to see where Edie's adventures will take her.
Welcome to Stonehuman Residences, ma'am.
Hey.
You're here to see?
The Boulay family, Dominic Boulay.
Of course. And you are?
His sister is expecting me.
Of course. I just need to see some ID. Miss...
Boulay, just like the last time I was here, visiting my brother, who, funnily enough, shares the same surname as me.
Come on, children. Joshua, hold your loop, please.
You good to go up?
Thank you.
This country is falling apart. It's on fire, just as in your series. And your series takes it so much further in the near future, where the water is almost completely gone. So where did all that come from? Where did you start?
Yeah, look, I think it's probably 2 years in the making from the beginning of the idea. So there was a year of research where I was kind of talking to climate scientists about what was sort of just around the corner. I wanted it to be incredibly relatable and not too far away, so that we had more of a chance of people kind of having that experience of going, well, it's not happening today, but it could be happening tomorrow. And there were a few times during the writing process where I just needed to actually move the bar a little bit further ahead, because the weather events were just stacking up, and those kind of tipping points just kept getting met.
What did you think when you first read it?
I was just blown away by Shelley's writing. I'm going to embarrass her now by saying this in front of her. But I thought Shelley's script was just full of humanity and drama and important issues and love and care and motherhood, and it just spoke to me on a level that that felt incredibly original. incredibly of the zeitgeist, incredibly important because of where we are in the world, where our planet is, what we're doing to each other, what we're doing to our environment. You know, Shelley's very politically aware and has a big heart, and I feel like my character Edie is those things too.
It's quite a journey. How do you generally, as an actor, tackle that kind of journey? Are you the sort of actor that must research everything, or do you just let the director take you moment by moment through the scenes and you play the lines?
I kind of work on instinct and research. So, for instance, you know, all the sort of themes that Shelley's just explained. For me, reading the script as an actress, one of my first thoughts was, how does all this that's going on in Edie's world, how does this fight with her physiological need to have a child, you know? And despite her being very intelligent and very logical, her logical brain can still say, maybe it's not a good thing to bring a child into this world. Maybe there's a reason that it hasn't happened for us. Maybe, you know, maybe we shouldn't do this. But her, you know, the nature part of her desperately needs to do this. And that's a conflict within her, and that's always the basis for a character, when you find a conflict within someone.
When there's a baby in the mix, it changes things.
You know, the best thing about mess is that you can clean it up.